Hi everyone, welcome to Have You Heard, and welcome to my first ever participation of Prog Vinyl Tag for 2026. Being a fledgling channel, I'm new to this, but I just want to say very big thank you to Scott at the Prog Corner who inspired me to take part and who tagged me. So he allowed me to take part. So thank you very much, Scott. I enjoyed your video. I hope you enjoy mine. Right, this is just a rundown of 10 vinyl albums from my prog collection that I think fit best criteria of 10 questions that have been put to everybody who has participated in um, the uh, the vinyl tag. So let's have a go at it straight away now. There's lots of talking and no music, so I'll try and keep it short and snappy. The first subject is, what is the album that pulled me into prog? The one that hooked me and got me into prog for the first time? Well, it has to be the Moody Blues, In Search of the Lost Chord. It was 1968. I was in the fourth year at high school in England, and um, we had been given the luxury, if you like, of bringing an album to school every Friday for our music lesson, just to share it with everyone. And late 1968, and one chappie came in and he played In Search of the Lost Chord, and I was absolutely hooked. When I heard Legend of a Mind, that was it. I was gone. Never again would the Beatles solely be what I was listening to. It would be a hell of a lot more than that. So thank you very much, Moody Blues. You started my prog journey, and In Search of the Lost Chord will always be the one that hooked me on prog. Okay, let's go on to category number 2, your desert island prog record, the one that you can't live without. Um, well, I've watched a few other vinyl tags, and guys have said double albums are great because you get more music, and I get that. But for me, quality overrides quantity. And if I had one record to listen to on my own for the rest of my life, it would be Close to the Edge. Um, for me, nothing comes close, and I know it's a pretty much a safe choice, if you like, or an unsurprising choice. But every time I listen to Close to the Edge, I just love it. Um, I never get bored of it, never get tired of it. If I leave it for a week or two or three, when I go back and listen again, I just get um, entranced again. So Close to the Edge has to be my Desert Island disc. Right, number 3, the non-beginner prog album. Um, an album that I love, but I wouldn't introduce to a beginner to show them what prog is about. This might be a touch controversial, but I have gone with In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. Now, I love this album. Don't forget it said album that you love but you wouldn't show to a beginner. And I wouldn't. I think there are gentler introductions to prog than The Court of the Crimson King. I mean, okay, it has the title track, it has Epitaph, and those are wondrous and they are very impressive. But there's also Moonchild, which sort of meanders quite a bit, and if you're not really into it, you might sort of lose interest slightly. And of course, it's got 21st Century Schizoid Man, and someone screaming "Cat's Foot, Iron Claw" at you right at the beginning. It might put a beginner off. So my suggestion would be just wait a little bit and come back to this trailblazing album when you're into it a little bit more. Okay, number 4 is the best sounding prog album in my collection. Um, Goodness me. Uh, I had to think a lot about this, but eventually, when I came to the conclusion that it has to be Even in the Quietest Moments by Supertramp. It's it's such a beautifully sounding album, and of course there's the story that they went up to Denver to record it, and it was too cold for the vocals. It messed around with their voices, and John Helliwell couldn't play his saxes and reeds particularly well because of the high altitude. So they had to go back and do overdubs and re-recordings back at sea level. But this album just sounds magnificent. Um, Peter Henderson engineers, Jeff Emmerich does the mixing. I think the mixing is superb, and I think the title track is just a thing of beauty, and it sounds so wonderful. So, Supertramp, Even in the Quietest Moments, would be my choice for best sounding record in my collection. Number 5 is the most underrated prog album in my collection. I've been looking forward to this, and I think Scott at the Prog Corner might be happy with this. Greenslade. This is their second album. Bedside Manners Are Extra. Great artwork, and we'll come to that again a bit later on. Giving it away here. Great artwork by Roger Dean. This is Greenslade's second album. Greenslade, the most underrated prog band ever. Their first 4 albums are indispensable. This is the second one where they got the production right, and it sounds magnificent. Dave Greenslade, formerly of Colosseum keyboards, Tony Reeves, also from Colosseum, on bass, Dave Lawson on second keyboards and vocals, and Andy McCulloch, who played for King Crimson for an album, on drums. The musicianship is exemplary, the songs are brilliant, the sound is pure prog, not a guitar in sight apart from the bass. It is superb. I urge anyone who hasn't heard Greenslade to go back and take a listen. Brilliant. Right. Next one is the prog album that gets better with every listen. I love most of my prog albums, and they've already reached a plateau. But if there's one that just surprises me every time I listen to it, and I hear something new most times, it has to be Tales from Topographic Oceans. Let's get it right, Richard. I mean, there's 4 sides of music to rediscover every time you listen. And I will say it now, the Ancient, side 3, it took me a while, but every time I listen to it now, I find something that I didn't hear before that really surprises me, particularly on that side, but across the other 3 as well. It's a piece of music that just keeps on giving. And I think it's fair to say that it's much more highly rated now than it was in 1973. Superb. Love it to pieces. Right, next number 7 is artwork. Favorite prog album artwork. And we're back with Greenslade again. I gave it away a bit earlier on, but here's the first album, the debut album. It's Roger Dean, and it's green with bits of yellows because the band is called Greenslade. It's the multi-armed wizard. All those fellows on keyboards, they sound like they have more than 4 arms. It gatefolds out, of course, to this typically wonderful Roger Dean landscape, if you like. And what can you say? Inside, it's green, of course, we introduce ourselves to Roger Dean's handwriting again, a la Close to the Edge, and photos of the band as well. But I chose this over Bedside Manners Are Extra in terms of artwork purely because this was the first time I saw the band logo and the whole concept of the multi-armed keyboard wizard. I think it's superb, and Roger Dean rules. Number 8, a prog album I didn't get at first. There's a clear winner here. Islands by King Crimson. I bought this because I thought, it's going to be like the Court of the Crimson King, and it's going to be like lizards, blah blah blah. Wow, I struggled with it at first. I wasn't into jazz. I wasn't into avant jazz. I wasn't into these long baroque, almost like chamber music. But I did like A Sailor's Tale, the instrumental on side 1. That one grabbed me straight away, and it made me work at the rest. And as time went by, I just found a place in my heart for islands. And when I'm in a certain mood and a bit thoughtful, when I feel like I need to relax and just take some time away, I put islands on. It does me the world of good. Okay, there's a little bit of misogyny in there with the Ladies of the Road and all of that, but it was 1973, was it? I think we can. It was just a different time and place. The album itself is an amazing piece of work and so different from everything else, which is why I struggled at first. Anyway, that's number 8. Number 9. Okay, the most emotional prog album, the album that hits me the most, and there's a clear winner here. Let me get it up. Rick Wakeman, Journey to the Center of the Earth. His live recording from January 1973. Now, the reason why this has such a place in my heart is that I was in the audience. I am on the record. They played two shows that night, and I was at the second show, which was the show that was recorded. And so in the audience, it's me and 3,000 other people. I just moved to London. I didn't know anybody. I hadn't been able to get a ticket. I mean, both shows were sold out in no time at all. And so I just went along hoping to pick up a spare ticket from somebody. And as luck would have it, I just waited outside the theatre for the first show, and then somebody came up to me and said, are you looking for a ticket? And I said yes, and they had a spare. Only charged me face value, and so I was in. And there's the booklet, the program that came with the show. So I wasn't one of those guys that kept tickets. I wished I was. I mean, I have lots of really interesting tickets I would have had, but I wasn't one of those guys. But I kept the program, the leaflet, and it. Every time I listened to the record, and I played it on my channel a few weeks ago. We have a series called Epic Track Review, and I played the whole album all the way through. And it brought tears to my eyes. Every single note, every single word from David Hemmings's narration hits me. Every bum note occasionally that's still in there makes me laugh. Wonderful. And I'm so thrilled to have been there when it actually happened. And number 10 is the Gateway prog album, the album I would give to somebody who says they don't know prog, but I would want them to give it a go. And I think this is the antithesis of the Court of the Crimson King. I've gone with the Strawbs and Hero and Heroine. I never get this right. There we are. Strawbs, Hero and Heroine. Um, Strawbs, I mean, they started as a folk band. They became um, a folk prog, and by this album, they're very much prog. I think, lots of keyboards, lots of lush sounding songs, uh, marvelous, marvelous. I saw them in London in 1974, I think it was, touring this, and I think it's a really, really welcoming introduction to prog. There's the lush keyboards, mostly on side one. You've got some spiky songs. You've got the title track and Round, which has great keyboards and synth solos. You've got the folky sort of songs in between. Um, I think it's great. The Strawbs, such an underrated band, very prog around this time. And I think it's a lovely, ideal prog album to get people involved with prog. So there you go. There's my 10. That's my vinyl tag 2026 for prog. Put some comments below. Please let me know what you think. If you're watching this channel for the first time, we've got 130 videos already behind us. They're in playlists linked to the channel, so have a little listen and see what you think. And maybe you'd like to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button. I do a video every day. But this has been so much fun sharing these 10 albums with you, and I hope to do it again next year. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and cheers everybody.